In this video, we are going to be taking a look at this Canon AF35ML 35mm film camera. And one of the really special things about this camera is that it has a very large F1.9 40mm lens. And that's very large aperture for a fixed point and shoot camera of this era. And so what I want to do here is put this one through the same kind of testing that you would want to see if you had it in your hands, and I will show you what I'm doing to test it and go through the cosmetic condition of it. First of all, let's look at the battery compartment. These are often filled with battery leakage, but this one is very clean, and that's very nice. As a camera that takes AA batteries, unfortunately lots of these were put away with batteries left in, and many years later when those are opened up it has left a terrible mess. So now we have batteries in, it's off. If we do the battery check, you can hear that that's working. I'm going to turn it on, and now I will open the back and we are going to load in some film. One thing I should point out here is that there's a lot of light seal material here. That's all bad, and that should all be replaced. There's foam in here and it's printed off onto here, and it's just a big mess. So be aware of that. I've got a scrap roll of film here just for testing film transport. And with this camera, all you have to do is get that generally into that area, close the door, and then here we see it's on S, so we're going to start it, run it a few times until we get a 1, and then that has wound in all of the film that was potentially exposed during the loading process. Now this one, you set your own ASA, and it goes all the way from 25, there's 200, and there's 400, and that's where it stops. I'm just going to set it at 200, and but you'd have to set that according to the type of film that you're using. And now let's watch as we take a picture. We should be able to see the shutter in there, and we should be able to see the lens move to focus. Okay, I held it in and it did it twice. I saw the shutter. Now let's pop up the flash by just doing that. And then we should be able to see that light up when it's ready. And meanwhile, let's look at the front of the flash. I've seen lots of these where this little diffuser is all smashed and where this doesn't really pop up nicely, but this one does. So let's wait and see. I still have not seen the light come on. It's been a little while since this one's had batteries in it. In the meantime, while we wait for that, I did want to point out one little issue here. This camera has obviously taken some impact on this corner here. You can see that, and you can, if you look really closely, you can see some little stress cracks in here around this screw. And so it's taken a shot there. I don't see it transferred too much onto this side. There's a little shadow line right there, and most of it is these cracks right here. But it's obvious that it hit on that corner at some point. Well, I still don't see that lit up, but let's see if it fires. And clearly the flash went off there. I'm going to do one more here on the self timer, and we're going to try that. I'm going to push the flash down just so we're done with that. And I'm just going to set this out here and start the timer. There, it's beeping. And it should finish its cycle pretty soon. Okay, and it did that. I should point out that this camera takes a kind of an unusual filter size of 48mm. I have this skylight filter that can go with it, and this just screws right into the front. I like to back it up and get that thread locked in just right. So we don't cross thread there. I felt it drop in. There, okay. And the cap will fit over that as well. Let's pop that flash up one more time. Could be that that just takes a long time for that. Maybe my batteries aren't as good as I thought. But let's turn it back to the on position. Or is there a light in there? I do see it. Yep, it is an orange light. It's just faint, so it's hard to see when there's other bright lights on here. So it is ready to flash, and we'll try it again. Okay. And now I'm going to push that down. I notice that this one stays down really nicely. Sometimes these don't seem to do that, so that doesn't work as well as it should. But on this one it does. So really the only issue that I see is this corner. What I'm going to do now is just pop off the rest of these, whatever is left on this roll, so we can, oh, there it reached the end. So now it's time to rewind the film. And what you do to do that is you have to push that in and engage this switch over here to the rewind. I believe there I heard it all the way over, so let's pop it open and see. And in fact, the film has all been rewound into this cassette. So, all in all, an acceptable version of this camera. A little bit of cosmetic damage, and does have the Canon cap and the original Canon strap that it's supposed to be with this padding, and that's threaded through here. It's one that you'd wear hanging like this. It doesn't have any strap lugs on this side.